Welcome. This is Holly with Wild Blessings. Today is September 14th, Teaching Tuesdays, and I'm going to be teaching you today about the power of essential oils and how to use them aromatically. So I'm calling it Aromatic Plant Power, but we're going to do a lot of other things as well. So there's lots of wild cooking, a lot of wild tea, one wild tea, and so join me. I'm really excited that you're here, and I'm very excited to tell you about what I did on Friday. So I went to a nearby farm, a dear friend's farm, and about 30 homeschoolers from Wilkesboro joined me, and we did a plant talk. And it was so much fun. Such incredible people, amazing teenagers, amazing little kids, just kind of memorable people that they're special. And I just so enjoyed meeting you, and I hope that some of you have joined me today in this Wild Blessings class. So please share with others, invite more to come, more the merrier. And I just really want to spread the wisdom of God's wild riches, and so people can know that they are provided for and that they are loved no matter what. So we went over 5 plants. We went over burdock and lambsquarter, which are 2 of the things we're going to be cooking with today. And we went over autumn olive berry, which is right here in my energy balls. And we went over yarrow and plantain and goldenrod. So it was just, I wanted to introduce them to some of my best friends in the plant world so that they could just kind of get an idea of what they have for food and medicine, free for the knowing and the picking. All right, so what I'm doing right now in my herbing around is I'm cutting up the burdock root. And this is the burdock leaf. And we talked about all of the uses of these amazing leaves. Look how big this is. This is a first-year plant. The second-year plant, the energy goes up the seed stalk, and the leaves are very small. And you don't want to eat the root in the second year. You only want it in the first year. It's called gobo in Japan and in the Asia. For Asian cuisine, it is a delicacy, and you can buy it at Whole Foods for probably $20 a pound. I don't know what it is now, but it's just delicious. And so many things I've made with it in the past. And so what I'm going to do with it today, as I've got it all chopped up, is I'm going to tempura it. So that'll be exciting.
You know, you told me about a bunch of new members. It seems every week you're getting new members into the group.
Yeah, it's exciting. Thank you so much for joining me. It's just a real privilege to have you with me. And there's a lot of things that we do together. We do crossword puzzles. This last, we've been studying a little, taking a kind of a dive into essential oils. 2 weeks ago, Brandi, Dr. Brandi Johnson, my chiropractor and dear friend, taught us how and why essential oils work. And it was fascinating. So if you didn't see that, then I really, really recommend that I will put it in the comments below where you can find the link to that class. But that was that 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was.
So she's going to be joining us at the end of this class, telling us about something else that she's up to that's going to really help us to be at our optimal best as far as our health. And when you have your health, you are wealthy. So, and if you lose your health, then nothing else seems to really matter. So I'm all about health here at Wild Blessings, and God has provided all we need in His world. So let's see. So we're going to be talking today about how to use essential oils aromatically. But before that, we're going to do a wild tea. And so Jason, I want you to come on over and I want you to try it. What this is Dandelion Root coffee that I iced, and I sweetened it with, excuse me, molasses.
Oh,
do you remember going over to Hensel's where he was, what was he doing? He was boiling it down?
He was harvesting sugar cane.
Yeah, wait for me.
And he was boiling it down with these large vats and
Yep.
troughs that he had made as he crushed up the actual sugar cane and making
Yes.
molasses. It was something, wasn't
It
it?
was something. So this is his molasses.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then for cream, I used oat milk. So.
Okay. You know, I usually drink the dandelion root coffee, or Dandy blend. We try and use that sometimes too. And I usually drink it hot, but I like it cold. It tastes
Yeah,
good.
I think if they had ice cubes in it, it would be even better. In fact, I think I might even take this and put them into ice cubes like that, and then that would be
Okay,
good. Or
okay.
we could crush it up in the blender and make like a slushy.
Okay. Now, you mentioned you're going to be talking about essential oils, but what's the difference between, you said what Dr. Brandi Johnson taught 2 weeks ago, and the description below, you can find the link. What's the difference between that and what you're going to be talking about today?
Oh, well, she was talking about a little bit of the chemistry about why they work, and I'm going to just talk about how to use them. I think most of us in this group, because we're all plant freaks, we're probably all into essential oils. And so I just want you to be using them, because if they're just sitting on your shelf for a rainy day or for a crisis or whatever, they're not doing you any good. So I'm going to be getting very practical and giving you some amazing ideas on how to use them aromatically. And then next week we'll do a little portion of our talk on how to use them topically. And then the following week we'll do a little portion of our class on how to use them internally. And then that'll be kind of the end of our deep dive into essential oils for now. But I wanted to first share with you what I'm going to be doing, what's in front of me here. And so I'm excited about, let's see, I wanted to talk about, yeah, we did our wild tea. So I want to do our wild cooking next. So let me share with you what I've done. So my son is home from Austin, Texas, just for a few days, or actually 10 days, for a wedding of one of his dear friends. So I always make him energy balls, which is one of his favorite things. And you would not even believe the things I have inside of these delicious energy balls. And so what's in here are, I'll give you the recipe below, and it doesn't have to be all these things, but the wild things that are in here are the plantain seed stalks, which I just pull off the seeds, put them into the food processor, and also some Lambsquarter seed heads, and I just pulled those into my food processor. I did some hemp seed, I did some flax seed, I did some chia seed, I did some dark chocolate, and some autumn olive berries. So you can see the autumn olive berries there, and those right now are totally ready to be harvested. You can tell because when you touch them, and there's literally thousands of them on each branch, they fall off easily. And when that happens, they are super, super sugary and sweet and ready to consume. Otherwise, they're a little bit too tart if you have to pull a little bit. So these are super ready to go. I pulled these out of the freezer. I have a lot in my freezer. Okay, so then I wanted to show you, so that's this, and I'm excited. So when I make these, they have coconut oil in them as well, and they're sweetened with dates. So these are super healthy. There's also coconut flakes, there's a little bit of almond butter, and all of that mixed together. I really don't have a recipe, it's just kind of whatever I have. You want to sweeten it with something, so I sweetened with dates. You could sweeten it with maple syrup, you could sweeten it with honey, and you could use whatever nut butter you want. You don't have to use coconut oil. I love using it because of the lauric acid. Just the nutrition in these is off the charts. All right, so that is the energy balls. And then the other thing I was teaching my wild students, the homeschoolers in Wilkesboro, was about the seed heads of Lambsquarter. So these are so full of nutrition. They're high in protein. They taste really nutty and delicious. They're in the quinoa family. And so what I showed the kids how to do is how to just take, these are like 6 feet tall. So I showed them how to just take these seeds and pull them off of the stem, like so, and then collect them in mason jars so that you can have a winter supply. And then what I did with for the kids is I made fritters with a whole bunch of the Lambsquarter. So it was like corn fritters, but it also had the Lambsquarter was the other ingredient, and probably some onion. So those were really tasty, and I'll post pictures of that in the description, in the comments below. So I could go taking those off of the stem, but I decided I would tempura them. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So you want to get them into little clusters like this. And I made a tempura batter with beer and I used cassava flour so it could be gluten-free, and corn flour, probably like equal amounts of that, and then I added enough beer to it so it had like this kind of consistency. So it's almost like a little thicker than a buttermilk. And then I'm just gonna dip it in. And I'm also gonna tempura some carrots and some of my burdock root. So there's the carrots and the burdock root. And the burdock root is extremely versatile. It does such a good job of holding flavors. And so you can, I've made it into taco meat, I've made it into hamburgers, I've made it into sweet and sour burdock root. You can just do it for all kinds of things. And today I made them into chips, which was really good. But then I thought, I'm going to try to tempura them. So I've got hot oil over at the stove, and I'm going to head over there now and show you how I'm going to do this. And then I made a really good dipping sauce. And then Jace, would you want to try it? Okay. All right. So, all right, here I am over at my stove, and I dipped the lambsquarter heads, seed heads, into the batter. And now I'm putting it into the hot oil. And I recommend using coconut oil because it has a good, I'm not sure how to say it, it has kind of like a good burn rate or whatever. It doesn't turn rancid when it gets really hot. So I do like to use that, but I used something different that someone else recommended that I'm not sure what it is, but I'll put it in the comments tomorrow or in the comments below. So let's see. I have, where did I put them? Here they are. I'm going to use these tongs so I can flip it. And I'm also going to add to it a whole bunch of burdock and carrots that I put into the batter. Get those battering together. And then we'll let Jason try it. I made a dipping sauce, which personally I didn't think turned out very good, but it had in it red wine vinegar. It had a little bit of sugar, which I think was unfortunate, some cilantro and garlic. So that's what your dipping sauce is, Jace. So if you don't like it, I'll make a different one next time. But this plant, Chenopodium album, is Lambsquarter, is the second highest in protein of all the plants, amaranth being the highest. So that's pretty important. So honestly, I don't really think you can have enough lambsquarter on your land, and it really grows where, excuse me, where you have a garden. So if you have a garden and you've worked in the soil, the lambsquarter will come. But you'll never find it in a forest or in the middle of a pasture, most likely. So what I recommend doing, and I'll be talking about how to make sure you have a wild harvest or a wild garden for next year, as the seeds are prolific right now. So we'll have a whole class on that because it's so important that we have all of this free food where you want it. So, Jason, tell him where we got the burdock root this time.
You mean the burdock root that I dug?
Yes,
Is that what
you
you're trying to
dug
talk
it
about?
up for me.
Yes,
it was
well,
amazing.
We got it right along the New River, and we went out one morning, which was beautiful. The New River has is bathed in golden light. We were listening to the Canada geese honking their way along as they flew. We got out there to what was really just an abandoned farm area that had quite a cropping of burdock, young burdock, right there next to the sheep. Weren't they the sheep? That's right. We saw the sheep out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there were some sheep, and then yeah, it was such a beautiful morning. But you know you've got a good husband when he goes foraging with you when it's almost dark.
Yes, we were out early. But
Why did we do that? Oh, I know. I needed all of the plant material for my class.
Yes.
So we got out there early. I can't wait to try this.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I'll put it on a plate for you. Do you want to try the dipping sauce even though it's not very good?
Yeah, sure. Let's try it.
Okay. Okay, well this doesn't look like I put enough batter on here, but I tried one earlier today and it was really good if you do a little more batter. So the way you're going to eat this, Jace, is you're just going to, it's a little hot right now, but you want it when it's crunchy. You're just going to dip it in the sauce and then just kind of pull it off with your teeth. So you don't want to eat the stems, just the seeds. So I'll put this on a plate for you. And I want you to try the burdock because I think you're going to really like it.
Okay, where's the dipping sauce?
I have it right there next to the Dandelion Root coffee. Yep. Why don't you just bring it over here?
Okay, so should I try the
Yeah.
first? Here's the
Okay.
dipping sauce.
Yeah, I don't think I put enough in there. Is it good?
I like it.
Yeah?
Well, the dipping sauce is a bit tart.
You're very tart. Okay, this time I'm going to put a lot of batter on here.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean it. It's good.
Well, you're getting some serious protein, and it has a nice nutty flavor, I think.
I'm gonna try the carrot.
Oh yeah, try the burdock. Well, just eat it by itself so that you can get the flavor. I think burdock has kind of a carroty, nutty, potatoey flavor. What do you think? Oh, I should have salted it.
Good. Very tasty.
Okay. Well, I'm going to finish up these right here, and I'll probably go take some to Justin and see what he thinks. And then I want to share with you some of my wild thoughts. I've been really focusing on stillness and the importance of being quiet and not always having distractions. I think this is what God's really working with me the most on, because if you're constantly listening to YouTube or used to be the radio back in the day, or the TV or whatever, it's hard to be still long enough to hear God speak. And He doesn't scream at us. He has a still, quiet voice. And so, and He has directions to direct us and guide us through the maze of this life. And so there's a scripture that we memorized earlier in the spring, which said, He led her into the wilderness, and there He spoke to her soul. So He leads us into solitude. So I'm choosing solitude, and I'm so enjoying these 15-second videos that y'all are doing, showing the beauty around you and Cindy, I love the ones that you did of the Pacific Ocean and the tide pools and seagulls. It was just so amazing. So I'll be announcing the winner at the end of class today, but you all did such a great job, and I'm so blessed by the things you shared. I hope that becomes a habit for you. Okay, I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll meet you back over there, and we'll talk about some of the things that I'm learning, and I want to share with you about stillness. All right, so there's my tempura lambsquarter heads, which is really, really good. And then here's the burdock root that's tempuraed, and that's also very good. And I think next time I'll find a better recipe for the dipping sauce. Okay, so I'm definitely doing that again, and that'll be fun. I'll give you the recipe for that, and I'll also give you the recipe for the fritters that I made with the lambsquarter. Let's see, one more thing before we get off of the topic of burdock is that these stems of the first year plant, as long as they're fat and juicy, are really good for marinating, and you can use it as like a green bean substitute. So I cut those off when I cut off all the leaves. And the leaves are also huge and have a lot of uses. So if you want to learn more about burdock, I did a whole hour class on it, befriending Arctium lapa, back in, I think it was February. So I'll give you the link to that as well, because this is a plant worth knowing. It has so many gifts. Okay, so I want to go back to one of our greatest gifts, and that is stillness. And the scripture that we're memorizing together is, be still, let go, relax, and know that I am God. And so that's a kind of a command. The Lord is saying, be still, let go, of all the things we're trying to juggle, all of the whack-a-moles we're trying to keep down. It's just like life is crazy. And God says, your strength is in stillness and in confidence in me. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I enjoy spending time is so much in nature. Because when I look around at all that He's created and all of the beauty and all of the textures and all of the colors and shapes and sizes and aromas, and I'm just in awe of the one who created all of this. And He's not up there wringing His hands, no matter how crazy things are here on earth. And I think that's one reason why the Lord is teaching me more about stillness now, is because things are a little out of control in our world. And when things are out of control, we tend to get out of control ourselves, and we tend to spin faster and try to make things happen and try to solve problems. And yes, God wants us to be discerning, and yes, He wants us to be wise, but wisdom comes from stopping, being still, and saying, Lord, what should I do? And the more you are at still and at peace and quiet, the more you'll be able to discern what is His will and what is your will, and what is wise and what is foolish, and when to speak and when to remain silent. You will have discernment as you go to the one who created you and say, Lord, what would you have me do? And so I was reading in my devotional the other day, and this is what it was on. It was on stillness. So I thought I would read to you just a portion of it. Waiting upon God is vital. The amount of time spent before Him is critical, for our hearts are like a photographer's film. The longer exposed, the deeper the impression. For God's vision to be impressed on our hearts, we must sit in stillness at His feet for quite a long time. Remember, the troubled surface of a lake will not reflect an image. Our lives must be quiet and peaceful if we expect to see God, and the vision we see from Him has the power to affect our lives in the same way a lovely sunset brings peace to a troubled heart. Seeing God always transforms human life. And then there's a bunch of stuff, and then I'll read the end. It says, it is very unusual for there to be complete quiet in the soul, for God almost continually whispers to us. And whenever the sounds of the world subside in our soul, we hear the whispering of God. Yes, He continues to whisper to us, but we often do not hear Him because of the noise and the distractions caused by the hurried pace of our life. And then this is the poem. Speak, Lord, in the stillness while I wait on Thee, hushing my heart to listen in expectancy. Speak, O blessed Master, in this quiet hour. Let me see your face, Lord, and feel your touch of power. For the words that you speak, they are life indeed, living bread from heaven, now my spirit feed. Speak, your servant hears you. Be not silent, Lord. My soul on you does wait for your life-giving word. So I hope that encourages you, and I hope you keep taking videos, 15-second videos of stillness. Love to see them. Share them with us, and I'll share who our winner is at the end of class. Okay, so that's it for that now, and I'm going to take a moment and share with you some of my foraging from this past week and some of the things that are on Nature's Wave now. But I first wanted to share with you, I got a new pack, a new foraging pack, and I wish it could snap on this side, but I'm kind of excited about it. You put it on a belt like that, and I can fill it with nuts and whatever, and then you can keep it closed like this. I don't know how to do it. Oh, I see, it's got a piece like that. I just got this. So you can close it up, but I think it's got to be cool to have it open. You can put hickory nuts in there, chestnuts, whatever's on sale, and so I'm excited about this. I hope you enjoyed watching what I've been doing this week. I loved meeting with the homeschoolers from Wilkesboro. I hope some of you are watching this today and become regulars with our class. Love it when you guys post what you've been foraging for, because I think it's fascinating to see how God fills our baskets. And it's a walk of faith, and it's exciting to see what He's provided for us.
You know, I also have to add, we had a very good time foraging one morning along the New River. And so if any of you live someplace where you can go out early in the morning, we heard the Canada geese that were just a beautiful sound. We saw a beautiful sunrise on the misty river water.
Yeah, that was really special.
And we got burdock. We got burdock too.
Yeah, Jason dug it up for us. Okay, so what I want to share with you now is the main topic of our class. And I gave this talk 2 Wednesdays ago to a group of women and teenage girls, and it was so well received. And I thought, this is just my passion for sharing it. I believe that we need to make sure that we are as healthy as we can be. And I think essential oils are a gateway to good health. And there's a lot to do to gain good health. Our bodies are self-healing, which is amazing. The scriptures say that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. So our bodies actually will heal themselves if they're given the right conditions, given the right food, the right nutrition, and the toxins are taken out of the way. And I think essential oils are an amazingly easy bridge to regaining health or keeping optimal health. But before we get into talking about the aromatic uses of these oils, I wanted to share a few things with you. One is, this is the handout that I gave you guys. So if you've printed it out, we're only going to be going through this point right here, the aromatic. So you can just fill things in. I'll probably gloss over some of the stuff at the beginning because of time, but this is such an amazing topic, and it's just exciting to me. This is one of my favorite. The essential oils are the plant medicine, and they're like the lifeblood of the plant, and they're exciting to me. They've changed my life for sure. But a few caveats. There's no such thing as a quick fix. The oils, actually, Dr. Brandi talked a couple of weeks ago about how they are used as very powerfully and purposefully to clean receptor sites so our cells can communicate with one another, to reprogram miswritten information in the DNA, and to deliver oxygen to the cells. And so she talked about how and why they work, and it was so inspiring and exciting. But the good news is you honestly don't have to know the chemistry of essential oils. You don't have to know a thing about it actually for them to work. You just have to get them out of the bottle and onto your body. And so that's my plan today, is to give you some very practical ways in how to do that. So that's the inspiration part. So looking over here, the inspiration was the things she shared with why they work and how they work so well. And then I want to talk about dedication. And so dedication is lifestyle is everything. And you can't just get health in a pill. You can't get it in a pharmaceutical or by going to the doctor every week or something. It comes from the 8 health laws. And it's in knowing these health laws and adhering to them that we maintain our health. And it's in violating them that we lose our health. So do you even know what they are? These are more important than anything you would ever learn in school. So if you're a homeschooling mom or homeschooling kid, write these down, get these down, learn about them. I'll be teaching about them during the winter months. I want to give a whole session on each of them because it's just so important. This is common sense that we have lost. So let's gain it back, and so let's just write this down. So on your handout, you'll see across the top it says, under dedication, it has an N, and the N stands for nutrition. And I'm not going to go into any details about these at all right now, because I just want to show, I'm going to zoom through them just so you get an overview of what they are, and then how we can use essential oils to support these health laws. So nutrition is the first one. You have to eat real food. A lot of what passes for food these days are just food artifacts, is what my friend Heather Neon-Fleshdare says. She calls them food artifacts, but they're not. They're filling the stomach, but they're not feeding the cell, and that is everything is feeding the cell. So nutrition is huge, and we'll get into that in detail later, but right now exercise is the next one. And when we stop moving, we start aging, and we need to exercise even when we're not well. And then water, especially when we're not well. Water is the next one. And our bodies are 65% water, our brains are 85% water. And when we get dehydrated, the first thing that happens is our brain needs this water, and it will draw from the water in our colon. So if you have a foggy brain, guess where that's coming from? So water is essential, and there's so many fun things to teach you about how to drink that intentionally and to absolutely change your life with drinking water in such a way that you're not constantly peeing it out, and it actually is getting absorbed into your cells. Essential oils helps with that, and we'll talk about that next week. And then S is sunshine. A lot of people get the SAD, what is that called? Seasonal affective disorder in the wintertime. And if you live in Alaska, you have it pretty much all year round. But it's because we get vitamin D in the middle of the day, especially. We call it naked at noon. If you get out in the middle of the day during the summer and absorb that vitamin D from the sun's rays itself, your body stores it for a cold, dark winter, and you won't have near as much struggle with depression. So sunshine is huge for lots of reasons, but that's just one of them. And then T is removing toxins, so being toxin-free. And this is huge because we have so many toxins in our foods, in our personal care products, in our homes, and it's unbelievable how overworked our livers are. And this is another place where essential oils can absolutely shine. And then air is the next one. We need to breathe pure air. And we're going to really focus on this one today because we're going to be talking about aromatic ways in which we can get these oils into our bodies. And then the next one is rest. And boy, there's some really powerful oils that can help with that as well. The hours between 10 and 2 are the most important hours to sleep because that is when your immune system is being rebuilt. And if you are a night owl and you're proud of it and you sleep in the morning, you don't get near as much benefits to rehealing and restoring your body in those hours as you do between the hours of 10 and 2. If you have a nighttime job, try to get a different job where you can work during the day, and then to discipline yourself to go to bed earlier. And this is something I struggle with all the time, but the more you learn about something, and then it'll help you to implement it because you understand why it's so important. So rest is huge. And then the last one is trusting God. And we've been talking about this with our celebration of stillness, and so we're going to talk about that in a minute as well. You can even use oils in your spiritual practices. So I hope that gives you a little bit of excitement. You need to master these. I can give you a link below of the doctor that I love to listen to over and over about each of these topics because she's phenomenal. And these things don't cost anything. They're just a part of lifestyle, and they take intentionality, and they take purposefulness, and they take conviction. Without these, when you violate these health laws, I don't care how many essential oils you buy or you use, you're going to be sick. And the way you can get well is by implementing these health laws into your life one at a time, or all at once, but just being really convicted about it and going for it. Do it as a family, encourage one another. And if I could redo it as a homeschool mom, I would have definitely focused more on making sure that my life was showing my children these health laws. And we didn't eat this way, and I would stay up late getting ready for school every day, and I violated all of them, and I really paid the piper. And it didn't show my children a very good example of a mom who lives the way I want them to live as an adult. And so, don't shortchange yourself, because you're actually shortchanging your children if you are trying to overcompensate for them and not focusing on your own health. They'll pick up more of what you do than what you say. Okay, so then I went into talking about if I was on a desert island, what 5 oils could I not live without? Would I bring with me, or would like to have a gallon of or something? And so in my talk, I talked about that in great detail. And honestly, I really don't have time to talk about that right now, but I'll just go over one. So, oh gosh, it's going to be so hard to do just one. I think I'll pick lemon. Okay, so lemon. This little book right here is essential. If you don't have it, get it. If you're one of my customers with Young Living, I always give this to my customers.
Would you show that book to everybody again?
I will, but hold on. Let me find lemon really quick. So in here it has all of the oils, all of the singles, and all of the blends in alphabetical order. And then in the back, it has all of the health conditions that you might possibly get in, to struggle with, whether it's, good grief, there's cholera, there's chicken pox, there's cold sores, there's liver disease, lice. Anything you would ever possibly face pretty much is going to be in here and telling you which oils would be wise to use and how to use them aromatically, how to use them internally, or how to use them topically. Never put an oil in your body that is not 100% more than organic. It has to be completely pure. And that was my other caveat, which I forgot to tell you about. And that is that the only oils I recommend are Young Living, because we're the only company that have all of our own farms all over the world in the right environment. So for example, our sacred frankincense and frankincense come from Oman, and that is incredible. No other company has a relationship with the sheikh there and are able to get our oils, our frankincense, where it grows best. And that's amazing. And we have a 1,000-acre farm in Ecuador. And I've been to the farm in Utah, and it's just, as far as the eye could see, goldenrod and clary sage and lavender. And it was just amazing. If the soil is beautiful and it's really well cared for, and the things they do to make the soil incredible and keep it has to be a virgin soil, no chemicals ever, for 50 years, and then we will use that land. And then the seeds they choose and the way they grow, and no herbicides, everything's so pure, and the way they distill it, unbelievable how important that is to getting all of the constituents, the healing constituents. So they are expensive, but they actually, if you want to have an impact, if you want to have healing, then you need to use real oils. And these are the only oils I'd recommend, honestly. So, okay, that was my other caveat. And I think maybe Dr. Brandi talked about that some too. All right, so let's just talk about lemon real quick. So I love to take this internally. And my whole point of sharing that is that I would never take any other oil that wasn't 100% pure internally, or even put it on my skin, since that's the largest organ of your body. But I love this for its uplifting scent. You can hardly be depressed if you are depressed, and I have struggled with depression, I will put lemon in my diffuser, and at times my husband will even put a lemon in the diffuser just because he wants to snap me out of a bad mood. So it has been unbelievably uplifting. It also is very alkalizing, and we'll talk about, when we talk about taking the oils internally, how you can alkalize your body with the lemon oil in water with honey. What else do I love about lemon? Oh my goodness, it's absolutely incredible for killing germs, and so it's great for cleaning. I love putting it on my my dryer balls and making my laundry smell like lemon. It's really healthy for your liver. So each morning I have one in my bathroom that has a roller bottle on it, Roller Glide, and I'll put it over my liver to help my liver function well. And lately I've been really working with it with UTI issues, and it's unbelievable how well it has helped with that. The biggest thing, of course, I've talked about a lot is the lemon, lavender, and peppermint combination, and how much that's helped me to make it through ragweed season with flying colors. So lemon is pretty special. But so is lavender, and so is peppermint, and so is Thieves, and so is frankincense, and so is copaib, and so is digize. And I wish I had hours to talk about each and every oil. But those are, that would just take way too long, and I only have a short period of time. So let's get into talking about how to use these oils aromatically. And so now we're into application. So the dedication is being dedicated, just really being convicted. Yes, I want to do these health laws, and yes, I'm going to use my oils. And if you're not already into oils, I'd be happy to have you join my team, and we could grow together in this area. And I'd love to send you this book and a diffuser necklace and the other things I send to my new customers. So join me if you wish. Otherwise, if you've already got oils, dust them off and start using them. You don't have to understand why they work for them to work. You just need to get them on your body. So we're going to talk about some ways to use them aromatically. All right, so the first one is my easiest way, and that is just opening the cap and smelling. And you can literally just smell the cap, or you can smell it right out of the bottle. And this is rose oil, and this one is extremely expensive. And so this one, excuse me, I will use a lot like this because I don't want to waste a drop. Not that it's a waste, but it's pretty special and very, very precious. This was a gift from Tracy. Love you, Tracy. So the way you would do that is you would open it and you would just breathe in and then breathe out. And we usually only use the top eighth of our lungs, and so it's super important to breathe deeply. And something I want to teach you that the Navy SEALs do is called the circle of breath, is they'll breathe in right before they have to do some, tactic thing or whatever that's scary. They'll breathe in 10 times really deeply and then hold it. They'll breathe in for 4 seconds and then hold it for 4 seconds, and then breathe out for 4 seconds and then hold that for 4 seconds. So it's called the circle of breath. And they're doing it very intentionally and very deeply, filling their lungs, and very deeply exhaling and emptying their lungs. So I like to do that out at my sit spot. I call it multitasking the healing arts. So Max and I are out there, and I will be grounding with my bare feet, and I'll be sniffing my oils, and I'll be doing my deep breathing, and I'll be getting the sunshine and the fresh air, and spending time with God, and just all of that at once is called multitasking the healing arts. So if you've got little kids, make sure you do this every day yourself and have them do it as well. They can be near you on their own boulder in the creek or on their own branch of a tree or whatever. But make sure that you make your time alone with God something that your children see, and they see that this is a priority to you, and then they'll make it a priority for them. When I was a young mom, I was always more interested in whether my kids had time with God and wrote in their journal and read their Bible and memorized scripture than I was that I did it because I was so busy cracking whips. So it's more important you catch more than what you teach. Okay, so this is one of my favorite ways, especially with the expensive oils. This is rose. I also love to do this with jasmine, which is so exotic and wonderful. Oh my word. And I love neroli, which is another expensive oil. So this is just a wonderful way to use oils without them actually being used. However, if you leave the, it's ragweed season. If you leave the lid off, these volatile oils will evaporate within 2 weeks, and that would be a crime. So when you use it, you want to close it up afterwards, nice and tight. Also, I would recommend not breathing directly on this little reducer. Just breathe in, and then you can breathe over to the side, which is kind of a smart thing to do. All right, then the next thing I really am excited about is called cupping. So you can write this on your list. I have a list of 8 things that you're going to come up with for how that you can use oils aromatically. So I'm just going to put 1 drop in my left hand, my non-dominant hand, and then I'm going to rub my hands together clockwise like this, and then I'm going to cup around my nose. And I could do the same breathing in and the breathing out that I was just talking about. This is really important, so pay attention. You do not want to get, when you're cupping and you've got it on your hands like this, you do not want to touch your eyes, because if you ever get essential oils in your eyes, they really hurt. And so the way to, don't freak out. Well, first of all, don't do that. But if you do, you can take some coconut oil, olive oil, butter, milk, anything that's fatty, and put it directly into the eyeball, and that will immediately take out the sting. So I just wanted to warn you, especially if you're cupping with your little kids and you're going to have this special time together, and it's all of a sudden they're screaming because they've got the oils in their eyes, which is not a good thing. All right, so then you're just going to cup around your nose like this. And you can do your circle of breath again, like this. And then with your leftovers, I like to put it on the nape of my neck or on my shoulders. You don't want to waste it. Never wash your hands afterwards. You want to just get it where you want it. And another great place to do it are your ears, because these are amazing emotional points come to every part of your ear. So that's another good place, not in your ear, but on the outside, or even pulling on your earlobes is a great thing to do. So don't waste any of it. So that was the second way. So the first was to just take the cap off and breathe through it. The second way is to cup. And I wanted to share the third one, which is super easy and super fun, and I do this all the time. It's called Diffuser Jewelry. So I have these beautiful necklaces that I love, and I'll be giving away this one to whoever is the contest winner this coming week, and I'll share with you what the contests are, which are going to be really fun. But in here I have a piece of leather, and then all I do is just take the one I want to smell, and I think right now, what do I want to smell? I can never get enough of the Idaho Grand Fir, which smells like you're in a Christmas tree farm without the toxins. So I just put a drop right on there like that. And then when I'm out in public, I feel like it gives me a shield around me. And anytime anyone hugs me, they always go, "Holly, you smell so good." Well, it's because of my jewelry. And I also wear earrings. These are Maggie Russell made these for me. She also made these cute earrings here. But they're just leather and they're porous. And so I just put the oil on the porous side, and then that keeps it for 4 to 6 hours during the day, which is fantastic. Then the next day I just pour a different oil on it, and it makes me feel protected going out in public, and also just makes me feel alert and awake. A really good one to use for that is sage. Actually, I would never put this on my jewelry, but this is a good one to do cupping with, or to do breathing out of the bottle, because this helps mental acuity and focus like nothing else. It actually helps to develop acetylcholine in your brain, which are neurotransmitters that help with short-term memory. And so I keep this next to my computer, and when I'm trying to write something for Wild Blessings or create material, this is really my best friend in helping me to stay focused.
Why wouldn't you put that on your jewelry?
Because it smells kind of strong. Here, you want to smell it? Okay, it has a really, I love the smell. It's kind of like rosemary, only, well, it smells like sage. It just smells like a turkey or something. So no, it's not something I would want to wear as in jewelry. Okay, but it's, it's up to you. Okay, so Diffuser Jewelry is the bomb. And then I love spritzers. And so spritzers are where you just take a bottle of water and you, let's see, this is my Thieves spray. So in this bottle, the reason why it's a cobalt blue, you can also do a brown Boston round, or you can do green, but you don't want clear because you want to keep the oils intact. And so this keeps the sunlight from affecting them and breaking them down at all. And so in here, I'm going to add witch hazel distillate. Maybe some people put a little bit of salt in just to keep the menstruum mixed throughout the entire, or you could just shake it each time. I like to use distilled water if I'm going to use water. Never use it from tap water. If it's from the city, you want to have pure water. But frankly, if you use witch hazel distillate, you don't have to worry about it. It's just a little more expensive. The reason why Thieves is so amazing is because all of the incredible things that Thieves do for you, antibacterial, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, kills 99.94% of the germs. It kills even black mold. It's just amazing. So to take this and spray it on our mandatory masks, you can put that on like that, and then when you put your mask on, you're not just smelling your bad breath or your dirty mask if you haven't washed your mask. You are killing germs and also helping you to breathe in the process. So I think that's a wonderful way to to use your mask if you have to wear a mask. The other thing is when the grocery carts are filled with germs, you could just spray it with your Thieves spray. So this is probably 10 drops or so of the Thieves essential oil, which is right here. And then I just put that in the bottom, and then I added the witch hazel to that, and then shake it up, and then you're ready to go. Okay, so I've got lots of them. You can do them for bug sprays. I've got them for energy. And this is amazing. I've got peppermint in here and energize, which is a blend. And so when it's my time to exercise and I don't feel like it, I just spray myself like that. And I mean, just smelling that makes me feel like I can do this. It makes me want to go do a high intensity interval training or whatever it is I'm trying to do. And then this one I love is peppermint in just some distilled water or witch hazel. It has the most cooling impact. And so like on a hot summer day, like sometimes I'll take people foraging, and I always keep this in my backpack because we're all hot and sweaty, and I'll say, lift up your arm and spray under your arm. And it's just like it's like a refrigerator. It feels so cool and so good. And I didn't know about this when I was going through life changes, but my girlfriend went through menopause with this as her best friend, and she said it helped with hot flashes so much. And so that's exciting as well. Peppermint is incredible. Oh my gosh, where am I at? Am I running out of time, Jace?
Yeah, we're getting down there.
Okay, I'll be quick. All right, now this is amazing. This is Thieves Household Cleaner. This is my only cleaner I use. I use this for heavy cleaning, for washing windows, for general cleaning. You can do it with a little bit of baking soda if you need grit or sea salt. You don't really need anything but this. This is $22 for this concentrate, 1 capful for a spray bottle for windows, 2 capfuls for general cleaning, 3 for degreasing. What I love about this is that when I'm cleaning my windows, or when I'm cleaning my counters or my cabinets or my floors with this, I'm actually helping my health. I'm actually strengthening my immune system, which is amazing. And your little kids can be crawling on the floor, or they can be cleaning themselves, and you don't have to worry about them getting more toxins into their little bodies that are already overladen with toxins. So using this as a cleaner is another aromatic way of staying healthy and strengthening your immune system. Okay, this is kind of fun. You can take, when people get colds or whatever, you can take like stuffy nose, you just take some eucalyptus and put some drops into the Kleenex box, and then when they go to blow their nose, it's like, whoop, their passageway is just awaken and open up. It's pretty fun. I love eucalyptus. And then this was really exciting. My girlfriend, my cousin actually, was just in the hospital for 30 days. And she said that it was really a traumatic time for her. And these nurses would go around with little pieces of cloth that had lavender on them, and lavender essential oil. And so Cindy didn't have any oils with her or anything, and she was just all by herself. And she said that it just meant the world to her to sit there and smell this little piece of cloth. Well, if I had known, I would have sent her one of these. This is an inhaler, and you take this little bottom part off, and there's this large piece of cotton inside of there, and you soak that. So what did I soak this with? This is Idaho Grand Fir. So this is like a Christmas tree. So if you are stuck in a doctor's office and you can't have your diffuser with you, you can just smell an inhaler, and it is wonderful. And make sure you keep the lid on it so that you don't lose all of those oils as well. Okay, so those are some really practical ways, don't you think, of using the oils aromatically? But the most important one, and I have to share this really quick, is the diffuser. And this is the best way, I think, to get the oils to affect everyone in your family all at once. And let me give you the 5 reasons why it's so powerful. It increases atmospheric oxygen. It increases ozone and negative ions in the area, which will inhibit bacterial growth. It fills the air with fresh aromatic scent. It's a mini humidifier. It destroys odors, and it removes metallic particles and toxins. So if you're the kind of person who likes smells in your house, and you use candles for romantic for the atmosphere, and you get these fragrances and stuff. The toxins that are in that candle is the equivalent of smoking. To let that candle burn for an hour is the equivalent of smoking one cigarette. So it's very toxic, and not even the soy candles are a good idea, because most soy is genetically modified and is a disruptor to your endocrine system, which means screws with your hormones. And that's the last thing we need, because everything is screwing with our hormones, and that affects how we feel about life. So this is such a powerful, clean, perfectly purifying way to shift the atmosphere, shift your mood, in everyone. So like if I was homeschooling now and I had my little kids, I would definitely put peppermint on when everyone's sleepy. Or if they're kind of, like at each other's throats, I would put lavender on, or something that's relaxing. So it's a wonderful mood shifter, and that's probably the best thing you can do. So let me go back over here and let's talk about, I'm going to introduce to you Dr. Brandi, and we all love her so much. She's added something to her chiropractor business that is so remarkable and will so help you with these 8 health laws and in getting your health back or maintaining your health. It'll just blow your mind. And so when she was sharing it with me, I thought, you guys got to know about this. And you can get together with her, and you can even long distance and be benefited. So we're going to watch her video now, and you're going to see, she'll explain it to you, what she's up to and how it can be a blessing to help you.
Hello there, it's Dr. Brandi Johnson with Restored Life Chiropractic. Thank you, Holly, for letting me get an opportunity to come in here and talk to your awesome wild foragers about the remedy testing. Remedy testing is something that I'm going to be adding into my practice that will give patients a full health holistic analysis from their hair and saliva. So what this looks like is you'll send in your hair and saliva. We get a full report back on systems that are struggling, organs that are struggling. We'll look at hormonal imbalances, nutritional imbalances. We will look for presence of food and environmental sensitivities. So we will compare your hair analysis bioenergetically to 350 different food and environmental toxins like heavy metals. We will look for molds, bacteria, viruses, all these things that can be inside of your body wreaking havoc without you even knowing. So we'll be able to see that. And we will also look for things like recommendations that you'll need. So you'll get this analysis, and then you'll have recommendations. These recommendations will include things like essential oils. They'll also include homeopathic medicines. They'll include nutritional supplements and other natural remedies like that. And they have been compared against the samples that you've given to make sure that these are the remedies that you need for your body to help you restore yourself back to health. So I'm going to give you an example report that we can look at together. I'm going to do this real quick so we can see this and you have an idea of what I'm talking about here. So this is the energetic system performance. What we want is for each system of your body to be at 100%. So that would be these pretty little teal blue circles. So everything's really easily color coded. It gives us so much information. We'll look at some of your main systems like your integumentary system, that's your skin. It will look at your nervous system, respiratory system. It will look at your cardiovascular system. It will look at your blood, immune system. We'll check all these things, and we're looking for how much stress is there in that system. So if it's at that teal, that means there's minor stress. If it's in this yellow color, that means that system is operating at 80%. So there's some stress there. Orange will be chronic stress. 40% means that there is some serious weakness. If we had a maroon color here, that would be a chronic weakness, some serious issues going on in that system. So this lets us know where this most significantly stressed area is. In this case, it is the thyroid, thymus, spleen, and gallbladder. So that lets us know exactly what we need to target first. Again, we'll also look at sensitivities to food, so 350 different foods. You will have environmental sensitivities. It will check and see if you have a sensitivity to MSG or a certain food dye or a certain food beverage like soy milk or red wine. It will see dairy, specific types of dairy. So it will tell us these things that you need to avoid if there's any nuts that you have sensitivities to. So these aren't full-blown allergies, these are sensitivities. So regardless of what you have going on in your body, regardless of what drugs you're trying to take to cover up those symptoms, if you are continuing to eat foods that your body is having a negative reaction to, you will never solve the root cause of the inflammation and pain that you're experiencing. So the food area of this report cannot be overstated how important it is. The environmental toxins, again, are also very important. It will check for molds and viruses and bacteria, chemicals, EMFs. Some people are very sensitive to EMF. So if that's a trigger for you, we will see that. And we will know that we need to create some lifestyle changes in order to keep some of these EMFs away from your body. So that's our food, environmental. Again, nutritional imbalances and deficiencies it will look for. So enzymes, fatty acids, minerals. It's going to let us know where there are issues and also tell us what foods that you need to be eating to increase that in your body. So it's not just a matter of taking a whole bunch of pills. We need to address as much as we can through diet. If we scroll through, we're getting a lot of information on this report. Again, it will also look for bacteria, chemicals, molds, viruses, parasites. So if you have these living inside your body, we absolutely must get rid of them so that your body can heal. We can't heal if we have a constant mold exposure and mold that's building up in our body or parasites that are living in there. We got to get that stuff out. So we're going to test for that. Your remedies are going to be, again, mixture of herbs, homeopathic, some essential oils. This is, again, these remedies are tested up against your hair and saliva samples bioenergetically. So it's checking to see, does your body respond positively to these specific remedies or not? It's testing hundreds of different formulations and brands and things like that so that we know that what we're recommending to you has been tested against your samples. So it's not a whole lot of guesswork. So it's very, very helpful. We can order these supplements straight through here, so you're not having to go and shop and try to find all these things yourself. So it's a very, very helpful report, gives us a lot of information. Alternative medicine is able to open up a lot of different doors for us. So I'm excited to offer this test. This is remedy testing. You can reach out to me through my Facebook, Restored Life Chiropractic, or Dr. Brandi Johnson, DC, on Facebook as well. If you prefer email, please email me at brandi.life@protonmail.com. That's Brandi with an I. So I would love to help any of you. I would send these tests directly to you. They'd be drop shipped to your house. You would put your samples in a prepaid package, mail it back. We would get your report back in around 3 weeks. We would go over it together, get your remedy started, and you would be well on your way to feeling better. So I'd love to help any of you with that. Please reach out with questions. Thank you again, Holly, for letting me share this with your team. So thank you all. We'll talk soon.
Okay, well, that was exciting. Thank you so much, Dr. Brandi, for sharing with us. And now I get to announce to you who our winner was of the Celebration of Stillness video contest. And I loved all of your entries so much. I think I'll put them all together and just for fun and put that in one of our classes one of these days. But our winner was from California, and it was Cindy Christ. So Cindy, I'm very excited to send you the wild mushroom powder. And so that's what you'll be getting, since I can't have you come to my go foraging with me, although I would love that. So if you're ever in North Carolina, you can still, have a rain check, but you'll love that. So I'll mail that to you. And then this week we'll continue this contest, and we'll do it for another week, and then perhaps someone will win this week that can come to a foraging with me. So let's see, next week we'll be talking about how to use essential oils topically, and you won't want to miss that. And of course, we'll talk about what's on Nature's Wave as well, because it's amazing what's out there. And then for our field work, the Celebrating Stillness video contest will continue, like I said. I'm going to have an added contest called My Foraging Basket, which is what we did a few weeks ago. Because honestly, I want to see your hickory nuts, I want to see your chestnuts, your pecans, I want to see your apples and all the things, your crab apples that you're gathering during this harvest season. Don't miss out and show me what you're doing, and then you can be added into the raffle contest with that. And then let's decorate our posters for Be Still, Let Go, Relax, and Know That I Am God. And decorate it with whatever is out on Nature's Wave right now, with the leaves and the flowers that are out there now. And post your picture of yours, and that'll be added to the raffle generator as well. So you will be added if you do the Stillness video, if you do the foraging basket, and if you decorate your posters. So you have 3 times that your name can be put in to the raffle generator. And so you have a really good chance of winning if you participate. If you're watching on YouTube and enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below and click subscribe so that you'll not miss an episode. Don't forget to share this post with others. And if you want to join Wild Blessings with Holly Drake Facebook group, it's a private group. So just message me and I'll be happy to invite you. You can also support me on Patreon so I can keep these classes free, which would be so appreciated. Join me next time, same station, where we'll be delving into the world of apples and also talking about how to use essential oils topically. God bless you.